is early in the morning, and we're going to visit a fish market. That group of people over here are doing what you had told us about the bidding?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
The big old car. I'd say
I'm sorry I'm not talking yet, people, but it is very interesting, and I'm sort of spellbound right now. But very active place. I am going to be restricted right here because of the floor is very slick, and they were afraid that I'd get hurt. And that was very nice of them. If I know the story correctly, I believe those people over there are bidding and buying. This is the Wall Street of fish. And as you can see, very busy. And there is the fish. I was just saying to the camera, you know the amazing thing is how there's not a strong odor here? Isn't that unbelievable? And was I correct? That group of people over here are doing what you had told us about the bidding?
yeah.
That's what I thought.
The big old car. I'd stay on that.
That's why I get the whole room.
John.
I really don't have to describe what's happening here. It's just watching it is self-explanatory.
I don't remember it being this busy, but I wonder because they didn't do it Thursday.
That could be.
So they missed
If they had it off.
They'll miss 2 days. Thursday I'll be right back.
This is amazing. I was. I'm sorry.
Real. No, they belong to the auction. One of the problems we have is the boats, especially when we travel long, they don't take your...
It looks like they constantly hose down. And it's laying around on the floor. Amazing. I now realize he's not only hosing the floor, but he's also constantly hosing the fish down. He must have some significance. Okay, there it is going on the truck. They pack it nice. This must be for local. Huh? Look out, back away from me.
Fish auction.
Auction, fish auction.
We've got another AFH or just metal deck. This sits over metal, over steel. Yeah. and that steel is about an inch thick. Then below that, there's another deck that's thicker and another one that's thicker yet until you're down to a thickness of about 4 to 6 inches, depending on which part of the deck. Then the sides are layered also. Okay. So it varies from an inch to an inch and a half all the way up to about 3 inches. And as you get down to the water, that void sometimes is air, sometimes it's fuel or water. So if you're hit by a torpedo, okay, you can pump to the side, but you still have 2 more levels of protection. It's in diameter and weighs, depending on its load, up to 2,700 pounds, like a Volkswagen.
Right.
And it comes out the barrel at 2,500 feet per second, and it goes 23 miles accurately.
It does a lot of damage too.
A lot of damage. It can penetrate 32 inches of nickel content. Just in case you had a couple of buildings. Back here,
They spent quite a bit of money refurbishing this too, didn't they?
they did. They did well over $500 million, and they could basically handle any helicopter in the Navy inventory.
Wow.
What's going on here is we're taking this little house off, which is a temporary structure that was added when the ship was decommissioned, just to put stuff in. We're taking that off so we can have this look like a flight deck again. No, it wasn't back here. It wasn't back here at all. Incidentally, the aircraft carrier landed yesterday morning. Yeah. You can see the entrance to the channel there. Mm-hmm. The shipyard, which was a major player after the attack on the 7th of December, is over here. You see all the cranes and the piers here. Then as you go that way, you're looking at Navy ships. Interestingly, the first ship with its bow pointed this way, and you'll see the number on it, 174, that's a Japanese ship. Japanese destroyer.
Huh.
They're here for training. Yeah. And the submarine base is over kind of straight ahead, and in fact, if you see that tower, that tower that's sort of sand colored, right? That was a tower that they used to test to see if people had a tolerance for diving in preparation for going to submarines.
See how far down they can go?
Well, what they do is they get them down there, and what they do is they do what's called a free ascent, where you go from the bottom, you hold your breath and rise all the way to the top. The physics of it is that as you're rising, the air is expanding, so you have to let air out all the way up. It's not a very natural thing. But in fact, if you hold your breath, you'll blow up.
Not too good, huh?
No, not good at all. You can see the other Tomahawk
You
launcher.
didn't do any of that undersea stuff, did you?
No. I did not. I was on ships the whole time. Destroyers, cruisers. You notice some more
stuff.
You see some more Tomahawks up there.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's those are the midship launchers. Incidentally, those launchers open up like a clamshell, like this, and the missiles are suspended below. So that one opens facing that way.
Okay.
Okay.
And there's another set of launchers on the other side. So they open like this. Obviously, you don't shoot them at the same time, or these guys meet in the middle. But yeah, it's pretty fascinating technology.
It is, isn't it? Huh?
By the way, the technology of those guns, when they refurbished the ship and brought it back in commission in 1986, the computers drew for the computers for these.
Okay. And there's 8 of those now, right?
There's 6.
6.
And
Okay.
interest goes into the ship's existing chill water system. A fairly interesting engineering feat, and a lot of good kind of construction. You'll notice a different number here.
Yeah.
5 there.
And, you may wonder what that post coming over is. That when bullets come over, then they use that to hoist them, and then to lower them down. And I'll show you the areas the way they lower them down.
This little thing sticking out is what?
That's a part of the sighting system, and they really had several ways to aim or to determine a location of a target. One's by radar, and if you look at, you see that highest gray cross piece.
Yeah.
Above that was a radar. In fact, we've got those radar, a radar on the pier. And if you rotate that thing around and you point it at the right thing, it does the radar kind of thing. Well, that cross piece, if you didn't have the radar, well, incidentally, there's another one just like it back aft, and either one of them can drive either one of these guns or both of them. The cross piece is an optical sighting system. They're stereoscopic sights. So you can determine, first of all, you point in the right direction, and then, just like your eyes give you a sense of distance, you do the same thing, only now you're using precision optics, and trigonometrically you can determine the range to something. That's what those do.
Okay.
And then by pointing it, you get the exact direction. Well, guess what? This lower thing here, this is one half of a stereoscopic sighting system.
So the other one's on the
There's
other
one
side.
on the other side as well.
Okay.
So I can pull the trigger from up there, or back there, or in the gun itself, or if I'm shooting against a land target and I can't see it at all, if I know where it is geographically and I know where I am geographically, and I go to that old computer that goes clonka, 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 and it points and I pull the trigger there.
So,
So there are multiple ways, multiple ways.
Right. And you need that.
You need that. Now you say to me, okay, smart guy, how come there isn't one on there?
I was just about to
I
ask
know you were. I know you were.
I
The
looked,
answer
I
is
said-
you can see the outline where it was. But what
Okay.
they found was it was not accurate. And
Oh,
so
okay.
they said, the hell with
It's
it.
too low.
No, it's just that, it's like the Hubble Space Scope, only they didn't take the billions to put another object
Okay.
in orbit to fix it.
Okay.
It just didn't work, so they removed it.
Okay.
And they said, for this one, we'll
Just-
either, estimate it,
Gotcha.
and you can still shoot from it, or we'll use another targeting device.
Right.
And all the stuff I told you, how does he remember that stuff? Well, here's how I remember it.
Little prick
Okay, and this
sheets,
one,
huh?
I said, 32 feet of reinforced concrete. Now, who in the hell would ever come up with that, okay? And the thicknesses of armors, which I always have approximately right and exactly wrong.
It's close enough.
Yeah. And it's well over 250 feet shorter than we are. So when you think about the Arizona, don't think of something of this size or complexity. It's 30 years at least older. And looks it. In recent pictures.
I never realized how wide this
Yeah. It's huge. Although, while you think of it as really wide, it has the same general dimensions as a destroyer. That is the ratio of length to width, which is related to the speed that you get out of her too, about 33 knots.
Except it takes just a little bit more to drive this thing.
It does. It does. All those boilers eating all that gas. Let's. I think I got a ladder down, so I need to take you an ultra really do that.
Yes, I
And
see
I guess
that.
this side really gives you a nice view of Pearl Harbor as it is today. And the other side, if you're an historian of the attack on Pearl Harbor, it gives you sort of a three-dimension view of where the attack originated.
Pretty interesting the way those things open.
Yeah, isn't it?
Fire.
Up and over.
Yeah.
And they're smart, so it doesn't matter which way
Right.
the ship's pointing. If you can imagine Sunday morning, the 7th of December, 1941, the Japanese are out there about 180 to 200 miles in that general direction, and they launch several waves. One of them, well, you can't really see the gouge over, and these are the Waianae Mountains.
Yeah.
There's a little gouge in them called the Koli Koli Pass, and one wave came through there. They were very low on the water, and then rose up over, and then fanned out on this whole plain. Another group came more from the north and fanned out. There's an air station up there, Wheeler Air Station. Of course, there's Hicken behind us.
Right.
There's an air station here, or there was, on Ford Island, and then over at Barber's Point. So another wave came all the way around that southern point and then up in. So it was a pincers type of thing. And very, very effective, incredibly well crafted. Interestingly, when they took the pictures, their intelligence sources, that tower had not been built yet. So when the pilots returned to the Japanese carriers, they were irate that they had bad intelligence because they're flying low, and all of a sudden they look up and find this tower. It scares the hell out of you when you're flying and the thing is there and it's not supposed to be. Just part of the fun of it.
That's right. Well, that wasn't much fun then, was it?
No,
Huh?
no, not really.
It was fun.
The stereoscopic sight, as we remember from the 16-inch. And the same redundancy or flexibility exists in firing of the 5-inch guns as exists with the firing of the 16-inch guns. Hi, how are you, Charlie? This is a place for spotting, visually sighting things in times of combat. You notice it doesn't have the sense of being able to sight a great deal
I can't see a lot.
through those holes, but they did have periscopes. The other thing is they had to be pretty short.
Yeah. Nah, that's damn low.
This is called the flying bridge.
Okay.
And on in a non-combat condition, in a fairly peaceful environment, this is a nice place to drive the ship. Now, you notice you don't have a steering wheel, but in the Navy, the guy who's driving the ship isn't the one with the steering wheel. The Navy is, they train us as backseat drivers. So we just say, go this way, go that way, or we give a specific direction, and then the guy on the helm, what we call the ship's wheel or the helm, goes that direction. So we communicate that verbally. In this case, they have the capability of also doing it in a transmitting it electrically, not electronically.
Wow.
And they've got all sorts of feedback. Remember I said there were 4 shafts and 4 screws, so that gives you a sense of the rotation and direction. Your rudder angle is here. Your speed through the water is there.
Right.
Course direction is here. Actual course is up here. You have to- it's some things are for shorter people than others. Okay. And in fact, I worked with a fellow who was about your height, Linda. Sir Shigemitsu came up from the ladderway right there, came back. You may have seen photos where he was wearing tux, his sign for the Japanese, for the Empire of Japan, and then the various signatories from the Allied powers signed for the Allies. And very shortly after that, it was over. The minister and his entourage left. Admiral Nimitz left. General MacArthur left. All the Allies left, and that left Admiral Halsey and the ship. As they were unrigging, because they had to get out of here, a couple of the mess cooks, just enlisted guys, came up, grabbed the table, took it back to the mess deck. And about an hour later, a junior officer was racing about looking for the table because somebody had determined that it might have some historical significance. And he raced back to the dining area, and he's, where the hell is the table? And he found one, the guy that had taken it back. He said, where is it? Which one's the table? And the guy said, this one. Said, you sure? That's the table. And then the officer looked around at a couple other guys. He said, is that the table? He said, oh, that's the table. That's the table. So he grabbed the table, and it's now at the Naval Academy as an historical artifact. Is it the table? Well, nobody's here to say it isn't. The guy that claims that really removed it, he lives on the big island of Hawaii now.
Oh, is that
and he
right?
tells this story, and it's really great. He says, is that the table? Oh yeah, that's the table. Kind of a fun story. The plaque itself, and this is a photo replica, a brass plaque is coming to us from the Naval Historical Center. The original of which was, one thing about sailors is, especially on a battleship, sailors, most captains think they're designed to polish things, polish and clean. So every morning, the sailors would come here and polish the bridework, the brass, every morning religiously. Well, over time, that abrasion took the letters and lowered them until they were almost indistinguishable. Naval historian removed that plaque, had another one cast.
Oh, okay.
And that second casting, if you will, is what we will have here.
Okay. Terrific.
And then, just to give you a scale of something. Powder bags were kept in this.
Oh, is that right?
They're doing is kind of the organization and the processing.
Hell of a project, huh?
I mean, this thing is just such a
The sound you hear is a very lovely. Yeah.
What'd you say?
She's talking to herself.
I'm talking to the camera, and as usual, everybody's laughing at me, and I will ignore it. There's a very nice lady over there playing the piano, and this is Diamond Head. We're at a restaurant, and there's Waikiki Beach. Very beautiful from here. Beautiful day as usual. Okay, and I will do a sweep around the room. And the face you will see first will be, no you won't. That's my daughter Linda. There's my son David. You can see in the distance the plane. I'll zoom in on the lovely lady who's the piano player. She's very good. There she is. Isn't she pretty? Very nice. We're at brunch.
You went back into the bar, huh?
And pretty soon I will show you his friend. Finish yours. Don't forget I had you on tape already. So now tell everybody who you are so they'll know who you are. This is
Rick Jackson, Private Eye.
who?
Rick Jackson,
Rick,
Private Eye.
Private Eye.
I'm helping the Guayala.
I'm gonna stop right now.
Taking pictures of us.
And okay, I'm back again. I just realized I'm not used to having this, so I can zoom in. Ah, there we go. Oh my God, this is magnificent. This is some camera. Now you can see everything better. This is. Oh, remember when I showed you where David was? Isn't that where you did the Dave? Isn't that where he did the foot race?
Yep, it's over there.
Okay. I showed you a picture of the park. You'll see it earlier in this film where David's race was, and now we're looking at it from a different angle. Okay. See all that over there? Okay. Now.
Okay, I'm like, okay, I got it. And then I'm like, then you see Johan come by. And then all of a sudden, you see the camera.
She said somebody questioned John.
I thought this was coming from. No. Who was that? What the hell? Look it out.
Steve Martin?
I would like that.
That sounds like Steve Martin. Linda just bought her this gorgeous thing. We are in this wonderful store. There's Daddy and Petra. And this is a wonderful store. I hope they move to Dallas. Then we can see Petra. This is decoration for Christmas.
They're still hugging.
They're still hugging. That's nice to see. Makes a mother feel good.
They get a hug according to what they buy me.
And I think that's terrible, Linda. You hug him anyway.
I hug him anyway.
I know, that's what I just said. Okay. We were in another one. Beautiful. Give your brother another hug. He started this whole thing. And there's lovely Petra. Thank you very much.
Just think, if I ever get married, I won't have to buy any jewelry. I've already said.
Okay. There are some of those trees that are unbelievable. What? And there is the, which building is it? One of the palaces, probably. Which one is it, Andrew? Andrew, I don't know what it is. Tell me. I don't know if this is going to show you, but the sky. Well, right now, you know, it looks reversed, but there's a lot of orange and stuff. I can't believe it. What looks blue in here is orange out there. Oh, there it is. Look how it did that. Right away it goes. The color's gone. Isn't that unbelievable? David's getting ready to go to work. Actually, he's late today. He usually leaves earlier. He's got his stuff ready for his old maneuvers.
Come take a picture of me in bed.
Okay. Daddy wants me to take a picture of him in bed. Okay, look at how cute he looks. Even in the morning, he has a beautiful smile. He has a little cold. We're all dressed up. He leaves his hat in the car, so you can't really see him. But he's indoors, he shouldn't have his hat on. Anyway, and the elevator door is opening and shutting.
See you later.
Bye. Have a good day.
You too.
That's what the puppy's for is now. The bus. That's Ala Moana Shopping Mall. Up there on the top there is the Indian Market restaurant there, the Indian Market. That's the building that Daddy and I went to look at, that we're considering. That is easy. There it is. There it is. We go there quite often. In fact, that's the other place where Petra's Summer store is. Took some still pictures there today. Actually, we're driving. In other words, I'm shooting away from the ocean. We're driving alongside the ocean right there. The sun's that way.
Does that look like paper clips? She said that. Are
Yeah.
Hawaii. We are at the Pali Overlook, high up, overlooking the north shore of Oahu. Far out there is Kilauea town. Clouds hanging all over the mountain. It's very, very windy up here.
I believe this is called Chinaman's Hat. And I believe, yep, that is Andrew coming back from going to the bathroom. Yes. And I will stop.
I remember these cliffs from Jurassic Park. It's opposite Chinaman's Hat. Very rugged. Very craggy.
This is the adorable little church we went to with the children when we stayed at Pat's, which is, that was Andrew.
This is the North Shore of Hawaii. How would you like to go swimming here? You can't even surf in this water. You don't see any surfboarders out there. Wow. More high surf. Little signs, red flags flying. Huge, huge waves. Can't tell because there's really no point of reference, but these waves, the ones out there, are 20 feet tall. Look at that. one right after another. Huge, huge waves. Just one right after another. And even way out there, they break. Way out. Comes one now. Just huge, huge wave. This is a daytime view from David's apartment with Diamond Head in the off the right side of the apartment. And here is a big rainbow. University of Hawaii up on the hill, and this is very typical of Hawaii. Rainbows, blue sky, clouds, and rain. Downtown Honolulu off to the left. And right below us, the Alawai Canal. And here we have a little race, kayak race on the canal. All kinds of interesting activities going on down here. And you can see the crowds that assemble every Saturday. And they're off, heading on down the canal. And this is the picture by night of the same place. It's beautiful at night, huh? Downtown Honolulu. Whoop, probably not too good with the shaking, but downtown Honolulu. All the way over to Hawaii Kai. Here is a picture from the ocean side of David's apartment. The beach at Waikiki. Straight ahead there is the Fort DeRussy military reserve and beach. And there are the ocean breakers. Beautiful, huh? And the rest of Waikiki Beach. So to get to the beach from David's, you just walk down the street and go right to the ocean. About 3 blocks, 3 city blocks. over there is the Hilton Hawaiian Village where Joe stays when he comes to Hawaii. Here's a little oddity for you. This is called a low down rainbow. That's pretty low, wouldn't you say? It's a low rainbow. The Punch Bowl of the Pacific. That's the little welcoming flagpole. This is the memorial. And you may recognize that from Hawaii 5-0. So that's the memorial, and the tombs of the unknowns are buried up in there. As I pan around, you can see the whole punch bowl. This is the actual entrance, which I couldn't get while we were driving through. The flowers here are just magnificent. Just magnificent. And this is the actual entrance and the center where you find out where people are. And the view from up here is just absolutely, as you can see, spectacular. That's downtown Honolulu and Diamond Head in the background. And that's all Honolulu. Windy up here. That's the shopping center down there and the ocean. Sorry for that. View is just gorgeous. This is section M, and we are going to proceed to grave 395 here in section M. We have to look at each one. There's not a numbering system here, so we will see what we can find. Well, we have wandered all around this site, and we have found site 395. Thomas J. Newcomer, Pennsylvania. I don't know if you can see that well. There we go. Marines, 2 March. Or I'm sorry, 2nd Marines Division. Excuse me. World War II. 1919 to June 30th, 1944. So, there you have it. And this is the spot. Not very far from the entrance. But right here with all the other World War II vets. Our glasses off, we can see it says Thomas J. Newcomer, Pennsylvania, Private 8 Marines, 2nd Marine Division, World War II. August 30th, 1919 to June 30th, 1944. Up in there is where they have the people who have been cremated rather than buried here. And I think you know who that is. The all of the unknowns in there.
All right, this is the area of the unknowns.
It's the
Plus, this is where we had the ceremony for Armistice Day, and it was very beautifully done, very emotional.
It's the only cemetery outside of Arlington that has unknowns.
It's the only memorial cemetery outside of Arlington Cemetery that has tombs of unknowns. Okay, this is at the far end. It's the opposite of the entrance.
Behind you.
We're downtown, and in the distance you can see a banyan tree. They're all over the place here. And we're going to aim at King Kamehameha. Okay, here he is. King Kamehameha. I always say hello to him whenever I get here. First time I saw him was 40 years ago. There's the banyan tree up close now. You really can't see the top of it, it's so high. Strange how they grow. We're in and out of government buildings now. Hawaii State buildings. This is the Capitol, so it would be the governor and all that stuff. This is downtown. Coming up to the palace. One of the palaces, probably the biggest one. And there's some Christmas decorations.
That's another old government building. These are all, that's the post office.
Can't twist myself around.
Look a little gazebo over there. Like that. You can catch the post office as we go by here.
Will it be on my right?
Well, the old church is on the right, but the post office, the library is over here on the right.
Famous library. Where we first looked up Overland Park, Kansas, when we were being transferred.
Here they're setting up for their Christmas display.
And there's Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus. Old church.
There's a sleigh is being delivered.
Uh-oh. Oh, that wasn't good for me. I'd have to go the other way. Sorry, I gave you guys a little dizziness there.
All over the place. Far, far away. This is a ancient ceremonial site for old Hawaiians, and still in use. You can see the ceremonial gifts being brought to their altar, and this goes right down to a good picture of the sea. We're on the North Shore here. A lot of ocean out there.
Shine, Pantene.
Take the time, shine. Take the time, make the time, shine.
Hello?
Mom, it's Julie. You're not going to believe
I've got
this.
my other daughter on the line. You know, the married one. Call me back.
Cut short? Well, now you don't have to pay for it. Switch to Sprint for a dime anytime, and calls under 30 seconds are free. Call 1-800-PIN-DROP now.
Siskel and Ebert give it 2 enthusiastic thumbs up. The Chicago Tribune calls it wildly romantic. A true dazzler. Robin Williams, What Dreams May Come. Like nothing you've seen before. Rated PG-13, now playing.
Can you guess whose parents drive a Nissan Altima?
Hi, Mom. Buddy?
The remarkably quiet Nissan Altima. Enjoy the ride.
Right now, get $1,000 cash back on the purchase of any '99 Nissan Altima.
NBC has the hottest new comedy of the year. The show with all the praise, the show with all the buzz is Will and Grace.
What are the double D batteries for?
Oh, it's for my water pick.
You don't have a water pick.
Let's just say I do.
A special Will and Grace Tuesday after Just Shoot Me.
Get ready for the return of the NBC Saturday trilogy.
How do you let it
Yes.
know?
We do have outages which cover that
We verified
for the particular months. This is for the month of June.
これは6月なんですが、
And here we went through PIP overview classes, where as mentioned before, we trained the people to improve that.
で各従業員にトレーニングするために PIP オーバービュークラスというものを設けています。
And we also had makeup classes for those folks that did not attend that.
でそれを
in the July time frame.
それをですね、出席できなかった人たちのための、大体のクラスを94年の7月に開催いたしました。
The people receive award checks, which is in the form of points, which they can order valuable material out of catalogs.
でそれでそういうようなクラスに出席いたしますとポイント制になりまして、方の分から製品をもらえると。
That was for the month of May, I'm sorry, of June. We also have an outage, as you'll recall, back in May. That's when we started the overview class there during that particular time, and it was a carry-on into July.
でその時から7月まで PIP オーバービュークラスというのを開催しました。
Here we went into coaching and helping the people fill out the suggestions.
それからここで各人に対するコーチング、カウンセリングなどをしまして、どうやったら提案書の書き方ですねをトレーニングいたしました。
Another supervisor that had a similar outage during the month of May.
スーパーバイザーに対するトレーニング記録です。
He combined some of the issues that we corrected with the other supervisor, and across the total organization, we did implement the overview class, the makeup class, and awards checks were given out by the supervisor.
で同じようにスーパーバイザーの方からPIP を
And a similar thing going back to April with an outage, because we did have some outages here as we were growing this. So we've continually trained the people, and
4月もですね、ターゲット例えばミスしたらトレーニングをするというように継続的に従業員に対するトレーニングをしています。Can you show me the actual figures for July?
For July,
year from January to December.
total number. Sorry? Yes, for July, we had a total of June of 140 from these people. This is again by organization.
組織別です。
These are submitted
定数数、
and accepted.
そして受け入れられた件数。
7月はこの方々
Two people
以外が 全部3件。
So except for 2 people, all of the people have submitted 3 suggestions.
This is calculated on a monthly basis, so, we may have some people that turn in 6 suggestions, and some people that may not turn in any to be.
ただこれは月次記録ですので、人によっては月によって6件と、人によっては全く提出しない月もあると。
So we get people that are active in suggestions and some that are not quite as
で
active.
すから活発な積極的な人もいれば消極的な方もいらっしゃるわけです。
だからこれ見ればアクションを取った5月か。
You took action in May?
Started in April.
4月に始めました。
And as you can see, it's somewhat reflected here.
そうです。ここに結果が出てます。
As we were driving, we started recognizing an issue here in March, and from April on, we made concentrated effort.
で3月に問題が発見されましたので、特に5月は集中して対策を取りました。
Encouraging the people to become involved into a very good program.
でもっとそのプログラムに参加するように従業員に働きかけたわけです。
We feel quite confident to make our goal with 3 programs.
一応ね、1人3件というような目標は必ず達成できると思っています。
And we'll probably increase it next year.
で、来年はもっと高くしたいと。
だからね、高くすることだけがいいのではなくて、どんな提案を出すのか、そのやっぱりいい提案を出させるためのシステムをね、工夫していただきたい。数多ければいいというのではない。
Well, of course, setting a higher number is also acceptable, but it's not only a quantity, but you have to think about quality. So I think you should come up with a system so where the employees can come up with the better suggestions.
Okay, we do have a system that calculates the cost of the suggestion.
Cost?
Of the suggestion, in other words, the implementation of it, and then the dollars that are saved.
一応ですね、提案によってどれぐらいコスト削減ができるかというような計算のシステムは作っています。
はい、結構です。
Thank you.
これは6月ですね。これ6月ですね。
This is the baseline of where we were at the end of 93.
これが93年の終わりの状況でベースとする数字です。
This is our target for 1994.
これは何月のパーですか？
This is the master that I use to run copies each month.
これはこれがまあ、
あれのコピーを作って、
これがメインですか？